As the title suggests, I have a Timex which probably no one would have seen before except my followers, but if it was perfect, I would have been much happier. Before we get into the watch, let's start with the unboxing experience. Let's open the box from our sponsor Ganguly Watches and Eyewear. So it's a very minimal packaging box, and once you open the box, you can find the Timex box, which is common to almost all the Timexes right now. It's so tight inside, so I had to remove it carefully. So this is the box, and once you open that, you can find more foam to protect the watch, and you have the watch inside with a cushion protecting it further. And underneath that, you just find the manual or any price tag, warranty card, all those sorts. Nothing else. Many people might think this is a standard quartz chronograph watch, but it has a special feature which is also its disadvantage. So watch the video till the end to know what it is. So when it comes to the dimensions of this watch, it has a diameter of 37.2 millimeter if you don't include the crown. If you include it, you have a diameter of 42.4 millimeter, a lug to lug width of 45.8 millimeter, a thickness of 13 millimeter. So this is not a very big watch, but still it's wearable for most people. So other than that, it has a standard quartz chronograph movement, 50 meters of water resistance, Lume, a date marker at the 4 o'clock position, a stainless steel body as well as case, an integrated bracelet which is also stainless steel, and it has a blue Côte de Genève dial. You also have a green variant which is super rare to see, and it has a domed acrylic glass. So other than that, there's nothing else more to this watch. The design of this watch is inspired from the 1978 original Timex Falcon Eye. So the difference between those two watches is this watch has a chronograph and that one doesn't. Everything looks very similar to both of these watches apart from the year gap. Other than that, the integrated bracelet gives this watch more retro feel, which many people are wanting at the moment. So when it comes to the buttons, one of them is the crown and two chronograph pushers. And I'll talk about the chronograph pushers a little bit later. Look at the case back. You have a separate enclosure for the battery, which is more accessible to removing the battery other than opening the whole unit as such. So this was inspired from the 1978 original, and it has a normal stainless steel case back. Bracelet is also quite sturdy and it doesn't feel very cheap. The watch has a very premium feel to it as well. It has some brushed stainless steel on the top of the bezel, and on the sides it's all shiny stainless steel. So the main attraction of this watch is the dial. This Côte de Genève is one of the more rarer dials we see in very high-end watches. So it's basically a pattern or a textured dial, to be precise. Some people say the Grand Seiko also has a Côte de Genève dial. So this one is a very affordable segment of that dial. It actually scatters light in different directions. So when you're looking at the watch from a different angle or in a different lighting setup, it gives you a different feel. From a light blue to a darker blue to a more darker blue. So you have three shades of blue which actually resonates when you're moving the watch around. And during bright sunlight or any bright light, it doesn't make a lot of difference, but still it gives you that premium feel to this watch and scatter at someone else's eye. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to this channel, as I do everything related to watches and watches only. And thanks to our sponsor Ganguly Watches and Eyewear for sending this in for a review. They are one of the oldest retailers in their market and they've been here for nearly 90 years. They sell all kinds of watches from Timex to a Grand Seiko. If you need any of those watches, they made things very easy. There's a link to their WhatsApp community in the description. All you have to do is enter that community and they give you updates of all the latest watches which are available with them at the greatest prices. So the best thing is it gets delivered to your house, which makes it much more easier. Please do check them out in the description. The lume of this watch is not the most interesting as well as the worst you've ever seen. So it's very minimalistic. We had reviewed a Timex Tiffany a few months back in this channel. It had a similar lume pattern as this watch. You have lumed markers, and instead of lumed indices, you have dots on top of each indices which shows you the time. So you can see the time in dark, so that's not a problem. It's not like a dive watch where you can see the most luminous markers and hands. So it's very minimal when it comes to this case. When it comes to the price of this watch, it is priced at 15,995. But luckily, it is 20% off right now, 12,796, which is a nominal price for this watch. Or just check with Ganguly Brothers, they can give you the best deal. Before I discuss the limitations of this watch, I'll tell you what I like about this watch. First is the Côte de Genève dial, which is very stunning, but I'll tell you one small fact. It looks way different than what is advertised in the Timex website. So it doesn't look very cool either. It's more of a subtle blue color when I see it in person right now. From the what I'm showing to you also, it might differ when you see it in person. So I'm just giving you that small disclaimer. The second thing is the integrated bracelet and design. It gives you a more retro feel and doesn't feel uncomfortable. But as this is a brand new watch, I haven't removed the stickers on the watch. So you have this gap between the links. It might pull your hair like some of the Timexes before, but I hope it doesn't happen with this watch. You'll have to check out with that as well. Let's come to the limitations. The Côte de Genève dial is kind of a limitation in this watch as well. So what they've done is they've given a more silver tone to the indices and markers. At times, it is quite difficult to read the time in this watch because of the color combination. If they had given a white indices or a loomed indices, it would have made the watch a little more brighter. Or if they were given a different color for the dial, more toned down color for the dial, or like in the 1973 Classic, if they've given a gold and blue combination, it would have been better. But given a silver combination, it's not the most appealing when you see the time. And the chronograph pushers, they don't have a tactile feedback to it when you press the chronograph pushers. So what basically happens is, by mistake, if you hit the chronograph pusher when you're walking and it turns on the chronograph, you lose a lot of battery. This happens in almost all watches, but still it doesn't give you a tactile feedback. Other than that, if the Lume was improved, I would have been much happier. But overall, it's a good watch for the price. I always pick a Timex watch with excitement, but something leads to the watch not being perfect. I sincerely ask Timex to improve their retro designs. Their modern watches are much more better when compared to these retro watches. If Timex can concentrate on not completely bringing a retro watch, they can actually make a modern inspired retro watch which will make people more happier. And if they could reduce this price segment a little bit lesser, people would buy the watches more often than others. Now this is 20% off. So it's a good deal. But otherwise, I wouldn't buy this watch in full price because of its pattern, which people might like or not like. So these were my honest thoughts on the Q Timex Falcon Eye chronograph. If you have a friend who loves Timexes and wants something out of the box in their collection, share this video with them. If you're new to this channel, please do like the video and subscribe if you're brand new to this channel. If you haven't seen my previous video about the Orient vintage watch from Japan, you can check it out here, and the playlist of all the watch videos I've made over here. I'll see you next week with another exciting video. Until then, peace out.